Hi there. Are you ready to make a really fast and easy, elegant dessert? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome back to Hilltop Stovetop, the show where we're teaching you how to make great meals in an ordinary kitchen. Today, we're making a frozen raspberry dessert. This is a special dessert requested by my friend Shelley, who hasn't been feeling well lately, and I said to her, what would you like if I could cook you anything? And she said something with raspberries. So today we're making raspberry desserts. We're going to be making them in individual servings, but it would be possible to make this as a whole pie. So we're going to start off, and there's going to be a couple of different variations on this, but we're going to start off by making the base for this. I've already pre-made the vanilla one. So all I did was I bought some vanilla wafers, just like this. And I took a whole vanilla wafer and popped it in the bottom of a muffin tin. And then I ground up a cup of vanilla wafers ground, added a 1/4 cup of butter and put it around the edges. And then I put a few frozen raspberries in the bottom. Because this is winter, we are dealing with frozen raspberries. So we're going to do the same thing, but we're also going to do a chocolate variation. So all I've done here is I've taken the chocolate wafers, which are these things here. Taken the chocolate wafers. They're a little bit bigger, so I had to break them to put into the bottom of the container. And then I have a cup of those, which I'm going to put into the bowl, and a 1/4 cup of melted butter. And I'm just going to mix those together. And I should, oop. And all we're doing is making it so that they're just a little bit moist. Now, the easier way to do this is if you want to make this as a pie, you can actually buy a pre-made crust, either in chocolate or as in graham wafer variety. That does the same thing. You can also buy this at the bulk food store. You can buy these crackers already ground up. Now, I've used a cup of crumbs to a 1/4 cup of butter. If you didn't have the whole ones to put in the bottom, you'd probably need to almost double that. And then all we do is we just take a spoon, and that cup works out that's sort of about a heaping spoonful like that in each muffin cup. And then we just take it and press it around the edges. Don't worry if it doesn't come all the way up to the top for this, because we're going to cover up a lot of things with a little bit of whipped cream. So that's all you would do for one of those. I'm going to finish off the next 12 of these, and then we'll be back with the filling. Okay, we're back, and we now have 12 chocolate filled or half filled muffin tins with the raspberries in them. Just for those of you that are watching and wondering how am I going to get these out, these particular muffin tins are silicone, so they will pop out nicely. If you have just regular muffin tins, I would suggest lining them with the paper liners so that they will come out easily. But now we're going to make the first of our fillings. We're going to start off by boiling we've got the kettle boiled here, and I've got just some ordinary raspberry jello. Pretty simple stuff here. And we're going to take that package. Now, normally when you make this kind of jello, you put in a cup of boiling water, mix it up, and then you add cold water or ice cubes. But we're going to do a little variation on that. So, I'm going to take our cup of boiling water, and once we've got the gelatin well dissolved, and it's important that you get it dissolved at this point, because if you don't, you end up with little rubbery bits. And then we have some vanilla ice cream. And this is a little bit more than a cup, but that's good. So I've already had that out in the fridge to soften a little bit. So we're just going to put that all into with a nice hot gelatin. And this all by itself in any flavor makes a really nice dessert. And just for demonstration purposes, I am going to mix some of this and put it into just a straight glass so you can see how it will separate. Oh, and I think I need a better mixer for this. No, do this one. I'm just going to keep mixing this until the ice cream is smooth and melted. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to take one of these glasses here, nice straight up and down glass, and pour a little bit into that just for the demonstration. And we're going to put that in the refrigerator. Then the rest of this, we're going to pour half of it into the vanilla and half into the chocolate. And I should probably... Okay, so that first type with the raspberry jello and the ice cream was exactly enough to make 12, plus our little sample thing here. And now we're going to make a secondary one, maybe a little bit fancier. We've got some plain gelatin here. This is unflavored gelatin. Sometimes you see it on, this is what we're using here in a bulk package. But sometimes you'll get it in a Knox brand, a kind of an orange box that's in individual servings. We've just added a little bit of boiling water to a little more than a tablespoon of that, just to get it dissolved. And then I've got two things here. One is some raspberry lime gelato. And so this is non-dairy, dairy-free raspberry lime gelato. I was actually looking for raspberry sherbet, but they didn't happen to have any at the store. So we're going to use this, and we're going to put in, I'm going to say half of this container, if it will cooperate, that is. And again, I've taken this out a little bit to soften it before we started filming. I need but 3 hands to do this. There, that should be enough. And one thing I should mention is that when I was getting ready for this with these frozen raspberries, I did leave some in the freezer. I chose the ones that were the better looking ones and put a few in the freezer just for garnish afterwards. Now here I have some whipped cream that I have pre-whipped before we started filming. It's a little on the soft side, but that's okay because we've got the unflavored gelatin that is going to go in and keep this firm. And think about how I'm going to mix this first. I'm going to mix the gelato or sherbet together with the whipped cream. And we'll certainly be able to tell the two types apart because they're slightly different, or one's definitely pinker than the other. Okay, now I'm going to add in this gelatin. Yeah, we could have done this with some power tools if you had them, but this is much quieter. Okay, so we've got that well mixed together. Now, because when I made the whipped cream, I didn't put any extra sugar in it, so it's fairly unsweet, I'll put it that way. But you can feel free to add a little bit of extra sugar to it if that's for your taste. And again, I'm going to take these and just fill up the other of my muffin cups. It's a little different consistency, but one way or another, what we're going to do is, once they're all filled up, we're going to pop them in the freezer again. Oh, and here's my able assistant coming with the ice cream scoops, which are there. That's better. So we're going to pop these in the freezer, and we will see you when they're done. Okay, and we're back, and we're a little more than half an hour. These were outside, actually. This is Winnipeg, and it's winter time, and so it's minus 20 outside. So that's what in Canada we refer to as the auxiliary freezer. So here we go. We've got these lovely little items. And then what we're going to do is we've got some extra spray on whipped cream. And like I said, I'd saved some of the raspberries at the end. And there we go. Some beautiful frozen raspberry dessert. But I did promise you that I was going to show you. This is the one that was made with the Jell-O and the ice cream. And it's not very much. It works better when it's in a skinnier glass. But you can actually see that it is split into layers. So the bottom layer is a little more solid. The upper layer is frothy. So even if you don't do any of this extra stuff with the cookie bases, if you just put some of this Jell-O and ice cream mixed together into a nice tall glass, it looks pretty elegant, and that's a nice little dessert for you. This one's for you, Shelley. Hope you're feeling better soon. And everybody else, I hope that you're going to enjoy this pretty nice looking dessert. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Bye now.